Welcome back to Empty Graves TV.
If you're watching this, then you're probably an Empty Graves fan. In that case, we have something in common. This is Cryptic Jasmine, and I had the honor of interviewing Ben, Brock, Chase, and Travis. You're currently watching part 2 of the interview. If you'd like to watch part 1, you could find the link to that in the description below. Who are some of your personal influences musically, like the bands or musicians of any genre that you look up to now, or that you say like influence you and inspire you nowadays?
For me, the only bassist outside of this band, honestly, that I look to for
and knows
inspiration is Adam Gitgood from Periphery, but mostly just his playing style and the attack that he uses when he plays. And as far as anything else, though, I could just go off the people I'm around. Ben's a really good bassist, so I pretty much just go to him for anything. I suck at bass. Everybody's thinking it.
Oh man, I wasn't thinking
No, I was thinking it.
I knew you were.
That's actually what he said when he pitched his friend. He's like, no shit. He said, I have a friend. He's ass at bass, but he's like super excitable and like he can learn really well.
I'm like, he's down, okay?
He didn't even. He's like, he sucks ass, but he is so ride or die for this. And I was like, wow, what a pitch.
Well, we had a lot of good members before that weren't down, so like, why not try it out? And it's worked so far.
I'm very self-aware, though. I remember me and Ben talking, and I told him, I bet what Brock said was this, and Ben was like, that's actually exactly what Brock said. he said, you suck, but you're down. So that's what we need.
To be fair, you can't suck that bad if you learned all that music in that amount of time. So like, there are like core elements as a musician that you definitely like have.
And nobody can hear you anyway, so
He's really active on stage, which is more of what we need than the whole notes thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's more just being active and having fun.
I know my role.
One of the biggest musical contributors to how I write music is actually Good Charlotte. Yeah. And then Haste the Day as well. So really those two bands molded like the entirety of it. And then like Black Sabbath, like old Ozzy Black Sabbath. And that's like the Trinity. If it's, if you listen hard enough, you could probably actually even hear all of it in there. But that's the Trinity. It's Good Charlotte, Haste the Day, Black Sabbath. In that order.
I would say my first one, I kind of mentioned this before, but my first one was Linkin Park, just because my dad was super into them, so I was super into them when I was young. That kind of got me started on heavier music, I guess, and then getting into like the new metal stuff of Breaking Benjamin, getting into a little more heavier stuff, Mudvayne, Slipknot, whatever. And then middle school, high school, again, I'm born in 96, so you follow that down, supreme year for scene kids. And that is exactly what I was. Can
we cut in a picture here of him in high school as a scene kid?
Absolutely not. We can't. I think I incinerated all of them.
It is so good.
I went through great lengths to get rid of those photos. Full colorful hair, bright skinny jeans, multiple belts, none of which were holding my pants up.
Raw XD.
Straight raw XD. So that what comes along with that naturally is Attack, Aston Alexandria, Hollywood Undead. Like, I was into that kind of realm for a while. But then as I got older, I started dancing with more of the Whitechapels and the Chelsea Grins and, Suicide Silence. And then after that, up until now, it's a mix of that. Plus, I got pretty into like the kind of progressive metal side of it, being a lot of like the instrumental stuff, the Animals as Leaders, Polyphia Chan, and then, Periphery and kind of things like that. So that's kind of Tesseract. That's a big one. I got a Tesseract tattoo. So that's kind of where my influences lie now. And then a ton just comes generally from hip hop and rap, which I listen to a lot of. And that, again, you can probably hear a ton in my vocal flows. I just steal from rappers.
Mine could go forever.
I like your energy right now.
So I'm just gonna.
I narrowed it down to 3.
I'll narrow it down to 2. In current day, how like in the past 5 years, how I've learned how to play drums and write drums. Deftones, Abe Cunningham. and Jimmy Chamberlain
Right
from
there.
Smashing Pumpkins. Yep,
Wow.
them two.
Solid combo.
Two of them.
Oh, both right there.
Both
Amazing.
right there. That's why I got them, man. They're two of my favorites.
Brock, I noticed you didn't mention how much Broken Side inspired.
All right. Well,
I was
I
actually
remember in middle school, you're the reason I listened to them. You thought they were so good.
You're what?
I don't know why we had to do this here and now.
I was actually gonna say it, but I didn't want to bring down the.
That's
the
really
podcast.
messed up, man. That's
He's
that's
like,
really
oh, you know,
rude that you would do that.
attack.
It's like I would rather you bring up something like really bad I've done in my past, actually, like a really bad mistake or like. No, yeah. Hey, we didn't always listen to good stuff.
We
and I
all
think
make
that's okay.
mistakes.
We all make mistakes. We all grow as
grow.
listeners. And actually, you know what? No. Let me tangent off this real quick. I had no direction on where to go with heavy music. No one around me listened to heavy music at the time. Like I literally, like I said, I kind of branched off from Linkin Park on my own after that. So yeah, there was a few missteps. There was a few bumpy roads that I went on.
He's not even mad about it.
I'm not even mad about it, dude. I don't even care, actually.
said
You know,
Broken Side once.
I'm actually glad that you brought it up, dude.
Off the edge.
No, I'm glad that you brought it up. We're here now, and we're writing the music that we're writing now. And if you think of it, everything that I've listened to up to this point has come to a peak to where I am now as an artist. So
Thank you, Broken Side.
I guess so. If you're listening,
They are.
BC13.
Jesus Christ. We're actually looking for a new vocalist. You could put that in the title. Oh,
Empty Graves looks for new vocalist.
man. After shocking revelation.
Breaking news.
I love all those answers too, because I always love knowing who like the influences or like favorites of the bands that I enjoy are, because they're often surprising. And what I also like about that is sometimes as fan bases, people can get very like elitist about shit. And it's like, dude, the bands you love are listening to stuff that you're, talking about. So I love hearing that for multiple reasons. So thank you for sharing.
I hope it just pisses off at least one person who's
Oh,
listening to Baya, who's like,
absolutely.
good Charlotte. Ugh. So,
It feels like these are the right pieces for Empty Graves. So how do you feel looking back about everything that happened this year in 2022?
It's been a year.
it's been chaos.
It's been
Chaos.
it really has been. It's been a whirlwind. Like I actually, I'll have to stop and like breathe for a second and then like remember the last month basically, because it's like it's a nonstop.
Yeah.
Like-
Once we got to the point where it was just us three and tracks, we already felt the best we felt in the band's history so far. And even then, we were like, as long as we got the trio, we'll fill in if we have to. But this is like the vibe of the whole band and our personal lives was absolutely like eradicated from all the negativity, and it was just a pure stream positivity after that. And we knew we could take the time to find a drummer that could fit into the trio so that we could have just like a perfect fourth moving forward. And thinking back on it now is insane what we've been through. And we obviously won't get into it, but it has been insane.
Right. Because
That was day one for me too.
right.
I joined.
He joined in the middle of insanity.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, and that's the thing, with every member you go through, there's always going to be some drama, and there's always going to be some of that. So, we went through, I think the count is at 634 members now that we're at, and with each one of those comes its own story and its own, fun. And then, I mean,
We started a charity for Forgotten Empty Graves youths. For all the band members.
all the ex-members
Yeah.
that are no longer doing things. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, and then just like there was like I feel like there was a point, especially when we had this trio, and then when Travis joined, it was just like it did fit super well and it was perfect. And I think it was not more important, but equally as important to us to find someone who meshed with us personally as it was to find someone who's good enough and could contribute on the music side, because that plays such a huge role in it if you're serious. But there was definitely a point where we like realized like, oh, this is going to be the one or it's not. Like I feel like we all kind of came to that point of like, this is the best chance any of us has ever had. And then since then, I mean, it is every single day, nonstop. There's always something to get done and to keep things moving. And yeah, it's been like a blur.
Yeah.
I feel like Witch Hunt was like the turning point too.
Yes.
Like when I first joined, Witch Hunt hadn't even been made yet. Witch Hunt was still being written. And I was there for the whole process because Four Winds, Pound of Flesh were already done. The rest of the set already done. Even at that point, Baya was already written. Witch Hunt was the new one. And I was here for the whole writing process. And I had been in one band before, and I seen the writing process for that band, and it's night and day difference. The productivity, the proactiveness, the initiative, like seeing it like Witch Hunt from start to finish, and then after it was done, seeing how well it was received online, seeing how like just watching our numbers grow. That for me was like, this is real.
That's a big thing about it. I was gonna say, like the last 2 months, with the new lineup as it is, has been exponentially the best our band has ever done. We've grown, 5 or 6 times over from what we were with previous lineup. So I mean, if you can just tell the positivity is doing dividend, and like the band has been flourishing in the new wake of our band.
The vibe matters.
But no, it's been torrential, but I mean, it's been like the best year ever, honestly. So, and it's only been since April. So.
Yeah, been 6-7 months, whatever. Like, that's crazy.
Like, I'll take it.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
So, speaking of exponential growth, TikTok, would you say it has contributed to your growth, or what role would you say it plays?
So, as the person who's been monitoring our metrics since day one, there is a noticeable explosion on our metrics on all platforms when we have a TikTok go even partially viral. And it is so noticeable that it's almost sad in how ridiculously amazing it is. But it's torrential. It's not even close. If you're in a band and you don't have a TikTok, you're just selling yourself short.
Yes, you are wasting your
time. It's free
time.
content. If one of them goes viral, you immediately have streams.
Yes.
And just on the analytical side, it has been the best part of our growth and our online ads as well.
100%. And now Reels. We've been posting on Instagram Reels too. But I mean, TikTok was the one we started on, just posting videos. I mean, if you just put out consistent content, I mean, try to at least do 1 to 2 a day. Promote yourself. Like it. If you are not using it, you're wasting your time.
100%.
Especially in this day and age. That is how most people discover music. I mean, through social media in general. But I mean, that platform and like I said, now Reels and Instagram, we've been doing a lot more on. I mean, it's huge. We would definitely not be doing what we're doing now if it wasn't.
I mean, if we didn't have TikTok, we wouldn't be right here doing this interview.
100%. Absolutely.
It's huge.
So true. Like that's how I found you all. So awesome. And thanks for giving that advice to other bands and musicians out there. I think that's really good and important advice. So what other advice would you give to anyone who wants to put music out but who hasn't yet for whatever reason?
Can I go?
Sure.
Be a bassist, make somebody else do it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's probably the best one actually.
That's why I tried to be the bassist in it.
Yeah, right.
Like,
and it
free ride for Ben.
Psych.
Yeah, and then no.
He has to go to a chiropractor 3 times a week because we're riding on his shoulder so hard.
I actually have chronic back pain from carrying the band as far as I have.
4th time you said that today.
Yeah.
He never lets us forget.
Even off the camera, they have to know. Honestly, for me, the main thing is just with art in general, it's really hard to put art out there in front of people because people are gonna hate your shit, regardless if it's good to someone else. People are going to tell you blow huge dongs and to give up and delete your account, that kind of shit. But it's literally just, you have to put it out there, and people who like it will like it. And you just have to have the courage to just do it. Because a lot of people get hung up on, oh, I made a song, I like it, I would really like to put it out there, but they just get afraid and they keep it, or maybe they just show it to their family and they just kind of call it quits. But if you got something good, just put it out. Just take the risk, put it on YouTube, put it on Facebook, show everyone you can, and, you might find someone who wants to join in, or maybe someone will say, this shit's great, keep doing more. I think that's probably the first leg you need to do. Absolutely.
100%. Super short story. Before we were in this band, like we've mentioned before, we were in a band called Citadel. And no. Here we go. I'm actually about to talk mad shit. So it took us like a year to write an EP because we wanted it to be perfect and everything had to be exactly in line and we wanted to master it ourselves and we wanted to do all this. And in the end of it, we ended up playing it live for like 4 months and then we dissolved as a band because it wasn't organic. And I guess the moral of the story is like when I joined Empty Graves, it was going so fast and you know there was a time where we're like, oh, I think we want a choir part on this, we should look into doing that, maybe we can get some people. And Ben was like, no, we'll just make a choir real quick, and him and I stood there and recorded a full choir piece between the two of us, recording different parts. And like
we didn't even keep it.
No, we didn't even keep it, but
did.
like legit, I know it's like the stupidest advice ever, but like just do it. Like just like if Nike Swish, like do it with whatever means you have. You can create a fully mixed and recorded record through a MacBook Air nowadays. Don't be afraid to outsource. I mean, find a mixing engineer, find a producer, find people to do your artwork. Fiverr is a huge app that we've used to find different artists to do graphic design and stuff. Like, don't let the things you can't do hold you back. Do what you can do, accept help from other people, outsource, and just get it done. Do it. Yeah. Post it.
Speaking of Citadel, just to piggyback on that, a huge thing that holds people back is it's really fun to get around and just say you're going to do shit. It's really easy to say, oh, dude, it's going to be so good. Oh, you know what we should do? We should cover this song. Oh, dude, that's going to be so dope when we do it.
Right.
Oh, we should get t-shirts. Oh, that's going to be so dope to have this t-shirt.
Right.
Never do it. Oh, it's going to be so dope to track this. Never do it. Like, people just exclusively talk about how they're going to do it and how cool it would be to do it, but they never actually just do the hard part of doing it.
Yes.
That's the big part.
And then when you get in the groove of doing it, when I joined with Ben, it was a bit of a whirlwind for me how fast they would move the production forward and all right, we want vocals written in the next week if you can get it done, and we're gonna record on Thursday, and it's got to be done by then. Yeah. But after a couple weeks or a month or so of doing that, that was just the thing. I got up in the morning, I knew that these are the things I had to get done that day, and it becomes routine. You legitimately just have to start. It's the same thing with TikTok. People, I mean, it's hard to get started on social media and talking to your phone and making content like that. You just have to start. And good luck. No one's going to be watching in the beginning anyway, so you can get good before people start actually paying attention. You legitimately just have to have the initiative to start doing the thing. You might not be perfect at it at first, but the more you do it, the better you get. I mean, it's all intuitive stuff, but sometimes people need to kind of have it hammered in,
you just have to do it.
Get it done. Yes.
Stop talking about it.
Right.
Just do it. Show us.
Any advice to musicians, Trev?
No, literally.
Give up. Don't do it. No, go to college.
I would start with piano.
The Bells? Have you heard of the Bells? That's amazing.
So I went back through your TikTok and it looks like your first show was around April 12th. Is that accurate or is that way off?
Yeah, and I remember that was the
April 10th.
Okay, so yeah, just about.
Yep, and we probably posted on the 12th.
Yep. And and I think we would have released Four Winds the week prior?
March 28th.
Yep.
March 28th. Okay, yeah. So we released Four Winds just before we wanted to get a song out before we actually played a show, just so some could have people could have something to listen to and know what we were doing. And then we just kept it rolling.
Nice. How many songs did you all have for your set at that time?
5.
Yeah.
The intro wasn't even a full song.
Right.
It was a kind of an intro with a musical thing, kind of just show you what we're about. It was mid as fuck. And then there was 4 full ones. Our set was 17 and a half minutes long, including the sound clips at the time.
Yeah, so pretty short.
It was actually pretty short. We got done and people were like, oh. We were like, yeah, we should probably write more to that. Hence why we wanted to tack Baya in so bad.
Which was the show that you wrote Baya for? Or like when was that show?
Would have been that one.
It would have been okay. So we played like the first 2 shows with like 17 minutes or something, and then it might have been for Hunt the Dinosaur.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
That was like our second
Our
or
first,
third
like,
show.
good,
Yeah, and it was
like-
like, oh, we should get another song to push us up of like into 20 minutes or so. And I think that's when it came. It was like literally like the first newer song that was written.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually like our oldest one, but it's our newest single at the moment.
Right. Which, yeah. The order these are coming out is not
Ass backwards.
Yes, it's not necessarily the order they were written at all. So we're actually going to release probably a couple more a little down the line that were like some of the first ones we wrote together. So like there's definitely going to be a little bit of a mix of style, but you know, obviously we're still happy with all of them.
Awesome. Got it. So you have more songs. I mean, this totally makes sense, but you have more songs written than you have released.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
are 2 or 3. There are 3 more that the non-local public has never heard.
Oh, exciting. Okay, good to know. So it sounds like you've been playing with some pretty big names. So how have you gotten these shows as like a newer band? I mean, obviously because you guys are good, but like, you know, what's the behind the scenes like process?
So a couple of things help. One is when I created the band, we're like the only death metal band around, like regionally, like till like maybe you get to Chicago, Des Moines, or St. Louis. So we kind of cornered the market on if there's a metal band coming through, we're like the choice. The other thing is I also, when I'm not doing music, I do local sound for local shows. And I know like all the promoters in the area, and not that they just threw them to me for free, but it was definitely like a, you know, hey, we have a good relationship. You know, I have a band, we're death metal. You know, could we get on that sweet ass show you got? You know, there's definitely a bit of that. And I've definitely done a show for a show, that kind of thing. I've made some deals. It has definitely helped.
Industry.
Business.
Love that. So what is the scene like there? Since if you all are like the you know, basically only band of your genre in the area, is there a larger fan base and demand for the type of music than there are bands?
I mean, I would think yes, just because there just isn't anything like that. We have some like hardcore bands. We have a little bit of harder bands with screaming. Like we're not devoid of just metal in general.
Yeah.
But like some actual, you know, we're funny, we're heavy. That it just doesn't exist. So I think a lot of people have come to shows saying that it's just great to see like a really heavy metal band because they just haven't seen one locally in a while, in a long time. And it's a great market to pick up on. But I would think so, yeah. If there was like another like super heavy death metal band or something, I think they would also do probably pretty well. Or at least I would hope to think so.
And I know that it's a little bit of a weird it's a great time actually, but it's a strange time because we're coming off of obviously the pandemic or whatever. No one wants to talk about that. But so obviously there's this explosion of events happening. It also feels like there's this explosion of metal again and alternative scenes in general, and deathcore is like huge again right now. And I don't know if that's related to everything coming back after the or if it's just also this wave is what it feels like as well. But have a lot more shows been rolling through or how many shows have rolled through this year? Do you feel like it's been a significant amount?
I think so. I mean, mainly because I did sound for most of them before. Like, it's definitely a nice increase, and I think people were definitely jonesing coming out of the sickness. I don't know if we can say that on YouTube without getting banned, but that thing that happened the last couple of years, I think people were really just jonesing to get back out and to have a good time again. So I think just whatever show it was, I think people were just going to come out anyway. But it's nice to have a resurgence of music that I think people, you know, when you're stuck, you're like, man, I really want to do this passion thing. When I get a chance, if I ever do again, I'm actually going to do it this time. And I think people have really gone above and beyond, actually just putting themselves out there a little bit more, which is really nice.
Is it a requirement for you all to wear Crocs on stage, or is that just a happen chance collective love? Or
Oh, it's like an unofficial requirement. Travis is the only one who gets off because they're technically not visible, and you know his kick technique. We can. All right, fine.
We can work with it,
but
it's contractual for everybody else. Yes,
It's not. I'm not a Crocs guy. I don't wear the Crocs. I like my van. I wear the cool shirts. I feel like that should be enough. I have the hair. I have the
Enough.
nose.
Well, and the thing is, so
enough.
Chase is severely colorblind, so he doesn't like quite get it necessarily. I think, which is where part of the problem comes in.
He thinks they're all gray and monochromatic.
Yeah, and it's like,
I think everything's gray and monochromatic.
That's kind of the problem, you know.
Hate M&Ms, hate Skittles.
He's not a fan. So
I mean, yeah, Ben and I guess we're OG Croc fans. Like that's kind of we connected on that. Like I wore my Crocs over to his house. I saw his Crocs sitting there, and there was kind of an immediate like, oh, you're cool like that. Like I didn't know you were chill like that. And so now, I mean, it's definitely, I would say, a goal for us to be sponsored by Crocs someday.
Oh yeah, that'd be tight.
So shout out Crocs. You know, their CEO rocks with us hard. So I'm hoping someday we can get put on.
That'd be sick. Have our own Croc, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, realistically, they're a versatile shoe. They're stylish. They are
waterproof.
They're amphibious, really.
Absolutely. You can put them in go mode and just absolutely get it.
Can we make an empty grave?
The Croc pins. We will definitely have empty graves Croc pins at some point, hopefully very soon.
I will say, I know me and Brock and I exclusively wear Crocs on stage.
Yes,
we definitely go out of our way, and I have matching Crocs for our outfit, color wise. So
yes, we all try to dress up a little bit and kind of have a little more of a fun vibe.
Amazing. Are they comfortable as well for stage shoes?
100%. Incredible.
I will probably wear
sales
them
pitch for Crocs.
It can be Crocs. Do you hear that? It can be.
This is going on TikTok.
Yeah,
we can put them in front of hundreds of fans. What do not they get?
Hundreds of fans, if not thousands someday.
Exactly.
Maybe.
The day is black as night, and the fire falls like rain. No fucking end in sight. We suffering in pain. Yes, we plummet to the ground. So we're nothing for the crowd. Bring it to the ground. Every single food is wanted. Burn this motherfucker down.
So speaking of style and dress, when I found you all on TikTok, like literally the first one was the anti-capitalist breakdown. The very second video was the Mario deathcore party, where you all were like dressed up. Was that a Halloween show? And tell us about that show.
Yeah, it was in Iowa City. It was at
El Reyes.
It was at El Reyes in Iowa City. Yeah, and it was a Halloween show. It was one of those that it was free to get in if you wore a costume. So, you know, just naturally being our goofy selves, we had to coordinate and do something fun. And, you know, we thought of a couple ideas. I know like Ghostbusters was on the table. I think Teletubbies was mentioned, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, we went through a few options and we landed on Mario Party. And after seeing Ben in his costume, I'm so happy we went with that. I honestly, I don't think Ben's ever looked better than when he was dressed up as Donkey Kong. It was incredible. It was the best thing ever.
It did slap.
That's awesome. Who was everyone? Because I couldn't tell in the video who everyone was dressed as.
So
I was Luigi.
Donkey Kong.
Mario, of course.
I was supposed to be Wario.
He was kind of Wario.
He's also sitting with the Crocs. He's a drummer. Full costume, maybe not. So we just wore a yellow shirt. He phoned it in, but like it's acceptable.
I ordered stuff. It didn't come in time.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
excuses.
Yes.
You were definitely Wario. We all know it. Well, yeah, crazy whirlwind, chaotic year. So what do you feel is next for you all? Obviously, I know you said earlier it's like a day by day thing, just keeping up with everything as they come. But what do you have, I guess, intentionally planned coming up?
Yeah, the timetable has been laid out, as hectic as it gets. We have a new single called Spit Shine.
With the music video?
With a full music video.
First
like
official.
Our first actual official music video. And then Unholy was just a quick one, just so we can get some visuals paired with it. But the new single, new video will be out December 7th. So that's actually right around the corner. We have those three other songs that haven't been heard before that we have as singles kind of in the back pocket to release at times we need. And then as of this week, actually, we are going to start working on like a debut album. And that is probably going to consume most of most of the extracurricular free time of the band until we get that tracked out. And that'll probably drop somewhere around next summer. And then, you know, the goal is to tour next summer, next fall, that kind of thing, and actually get quite a few tours out there. So
Yes.
it's a very big year this year, but next year will be even crazier. So, and it's
ideally next year is the year, if everything goes properly, we can actually take this on full time and, you know, fingers crossed, quit our day jobs and actually make this our job. But that's, you know, that's, you know, I said grinding every day. Hopefully we can get there.
Especially with your Croc sponsorships and the merch. Merch super important. Hell yeah.
100%.
And if they hop on early, you'll get us cheap. That's
us on the way
the
up.
thing. Because if you get us when we're up, we're gonna be expensive. If you get us now, we'll do it for like free Crocs for the most part.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
realistically.
Bet.
You're
Everything you
first.
want.
What's
100%.
the CEO's name? Someone tag the CEO.
Joe Croc.
Mr. Croc.
Mr.
This is
Croc, if
going
you're
out to
listening,
you.
I love your shoes. I love your clogs.
Do you have any kind of destination cities or states that you would like to tour next year?
Oh, I mean, I do most of the booking and stuff, like managing wise right now. Not that it won't change, but just planning that far ahead, what you need to do. There's been a lot of interest in Southern Bible Belt states, which is hilarious.
Because they think we're Christian.
Yeah, so it looks like a possible like Southern Bell type thing from like Texas to Georgia, then an East Coast from like maybe New York, Carolinas, then as well just pretty much just a straight California, which you can just do the entire time, and then you know we have at home in the Midwest we've got you know Ohio, Fort Wayne, Indiana, you know Michigan,
Wisconsin up there.
Minnesota,
Milwaukee.
Kansas. We've got a lot around here as well. So I think the goal is to do, you know, a tour in the middle, tour on the bottom, tour on the sides. So hopefully 4, you know, decent, at least 2 or 3 week tours a piece is what I'm optimistically planning on.
I'm in Texas, so I'll be looking forward to that too. In a dream fantasy that could be reality, what would your ultimate lineup be for each of you to like tour with? Like if you could put it on your bucket list, I would love to tour with that band. What would be the answers for you all individually?
Ice Nine Kills, Wage War, Periphery.
That's a good list.
Pretty easy.
Deathcore band on a metalcore tour.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Perfect. I love it.
For me, it's probably not even reasonable anymore. But the Black Dahlia Murder was a huge goal of mine. But if it's ever possible, that would be just great. Even just do a single show. And the Acacia Strain, I think, would be absolutely fire.
I think I would definitely like to see like a like sticking within our genre, do like a Whitechapel. I'll also take Wage War from Chase, and maybe like a more of a hardcore, like a Knocked Loose or like a Kubla Khan or something like that. I think that would just kind of fit well in as a full set, you know.
My boy.
I like Kubla Khan.
Yeah, it's a good
That'd
one.
that'd be awesome. Probably not dream tour, but I would really like to tour with Rig Time.
Oh yeah.
They are 2 of the coolest people of all time, and I just would love to spend some time with Rig Time.
Shout out to Rig Time.
Yeah, Rig Time.
Yeah, check them out.
They'd be out here.
I love it. And if I was gonna put you all on a lineup, like my I guess ultimate would be
Yes, please.
Angel Maker.
Oh, dude.
That would be a sick
100%.
show. And Ogre Packet Slammers, which you have some overlap with the Farquad breakdown, so
Yeah.
it
Yes,
works.
it would be perfect. I'll bring him on for the feature. We'll have him.
Match made in heaven, dude.
My band made a music video with a dozen kids in a Nerf arena.
Any questions? What is your question?
Who's Kyle?
Kyle is our laptop.
So you're telling me this is a birthday party
For a laptop.
Like Kyle.
What is your question?
Can I wear the mask?
You will get a mask, yes.
Let's go! Is that Kyle?
That is not Kyle.
That's our cousin. That's his cousin.
Will I get masked too?
You will get a mask. Ready to roll? Yeah, I am if you want. Let's do it.
Oh, and going back to your music video, did you want to say anything else about it, about the experience of creating it now that it's out, because it is out now?
It's another one of those big undertakings that we had done the small one, but it's one of those things we talked about, and even me being the guy who says don't talk about it, like for the life of me, we just couldn't we couldn't bring ourselves to actually do it. And we were talking about it for months, and we finally got to the point to do it. We're really good at doing it in like a week. Like,
yeah, once we start doing it, we'll do it.
Yeah, we write the paper right before it's due. But there's a lot of moving parts, and we actually have a bunch of kids in it. The premise involves a bunch of kids killing us in like a Nerf battle. But yeah, I mean, the kids, the logistics, getting the place, getting the videographer, the timetables,
renting
the
out a venue.
props. Yeah,
we actually kind of a fun little fact. We had planned on doing it at a certain venue, which would have been a roller rink that did laser tag. And we were like pretty much booked up there, and then they basically came back to us with like a completely ridiculous price.
The world's worst counter offer I've ever heard.
It was crazy because like also this place is like low-key dying as a business. Like it's a roller rink in 2022 that kids aren't roller skating anymore. So like we're like, yeah, we'll rent the place out from you. We'll pay you like all this money, blah blah blah.
Way more than they were gonna make.
Yeah, we were gonna cater food through them because obviously we have to feed everybody that's gonna be in the video, and they wanted like $20 a pizza and like
It was absurd.
It was crazy.
They were only gonna give us like 4 of the 7 hours we needed, and it was like the middle of the day when the kids were in school. And I was like, oh, this just totally isn't gonna work.
It was crazy.
Goodbye.
And then we had the videographer already scheduled. Like we had a date set and everything. And it so happened that a coworker of mine knows a guy who runs essentially was kind of like a laser tag arena, but it's with all Nerf guns. And he's got, tons of Nerf guns there and everything. So we ended up just slightly switching the concept over to that. Yeah, we had like 11 kids, ranging everywhere from like 4 to 12 or something like that. And I don't know if you've ever had 12 kids in a laser tag arena. It was insane.
It's a little wild.
There's a great video I'm sure I'll post pretty soon that is Ben telling all the kids the rules, and then
the safety video.
all the questions they had for him, which were hilarious. And, I mean, it was a blast. It was a great time. I mean, the kids were amazing.
And we got to bring in some of our like closest friends and who have been diehard fans since like our first track, and we got to bring them in and kill them.
Which is a dream, of course.
Great. Yes.
So I mean, yeah, it was a ton of fun, and it is definitely worth the watch.
Oh yeah. We went out for this one. We're really proud of it.
Amazing. Well, thank you all so much. So before we end this interview, which has been filled with just so many great laughs and surprises and words of wisdom as well. So any last messages for the people watching you right now?
Do it. Put the music out, okay? Hire a producer, put it out. It's not as expensive as you think it is. Save up money. But also, like, I mean, huge thank you to everyone who's supported us so far. Like, we're just a little band from Illinois who's like trying to make it in the sea of other bands, and we've had tons of great response and like people who just are really messing with us heavy. I mean, and you have been super great in interacting with our content and riding along with us, and I'm just super appreciative of everyone who has welcomed us graciously into their listening habits.
It really validates our art as well.
It's great.
There's nothing better than seeing people actually really fuck with your art, and it's I mean, it's the reason you get up in the morning.
Of course. So yes, yeah. The biggest thing is thank you to everyone who's done it, and thank you to everyone who's watching this, and hopefully you'll check out more of our stuff.
Perfect. Well, thank you all so much again. Super excited for everything to come. Go check out Empty Graves everywhere.
Do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it.
Thank you so much for hanging out and watching part 2 of this interview with Empty Graves. If you haven't already, you can watch part 1 on my YouTube channel. Links to all social media and streaming services in the description below.